Hello, this is Irina Semyonova, and this is enhancement 5. So I already have my NetBeans opened, and also I just wanted to note that this time I am on Windows, not on Mac as usual, and I reinstalled all the XAMPP and NetBeans and transferred all my files on Windows, and it seemed to work much better than on Mac. So it was a side note. So for this enhancement, I created a new file called it functions.php. I located it in a library folder, and I transferred navigation that we already had, and then added two more functions for checking email and checking password. And then in my accounts controller, I required once that file, and at the bottom I added a new case, called it login in. Yeah, we already had login, registration, and register, and I added login in. And then for this enhancement, we needed to add all kinds of validations to our forms. So in add categories files, I added this piece of code. For example, it makes input that user inputs, and then if something goes wrong and the form is not submitted, the input, if it was correct, it stays in the form. And then similar things in add products file. And then on login page, same thing for email, not for password, and also password. I now have the requirements for the password. And then on the registration page, again, we have this pieces of code to make the inputs sticky. And then for password, we don't do that. We also let the user know what the requirements are to create a password, and also I added this piece of code. It's a pattern validation. So basically validates that password follows these requirements above. And also I added this required thing, that it means that each field in the form is required. And okay, and I think that's all. Yeah, let's go to the browser. Okay. Okay, so this is products page. Add category. If I just try to submit this form, HTML part of validations, it will tell me that this field is required. And then I click on no validate and try to submit this form again, and it shows me the backend validations. And then if I actually put something in there, it adds a new category. Okay. Let's add something in here. And then if I try to add a product, again, it will not allow me if all fields are not filled out. And then I click on no validate. Again, server-side validations. And okay, add product. Thanks for adding. So that works. And the last thing that I'm going to do is to check for I'm going to validate CSS. It's all good, no errors. Going back, validate HTML. Again, no warnings. It's all good. And I think that's it for the enhancement 5.